This conference will now be recorded.
All right, we'll call to order today's meeting of the Sylvania Township Board of Zoning Appeals. It is 5 o'clock on June 6th. Maria, you can call roll.
All right, Mr. Schlechter,
Here.
Mr. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Levine,
Here.
Mr. Mercer,
Here.
Ms. Coolman. Here.
Okay, has everybody had the opportunity to review the minutes? If so, can I get a motion? Second,
Who we got?
John first,
Tim.
then Tim.
All right, Mr. Schlechter,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Levine,
Yes.
Mr. Mercer,
Yes.
Ms. Coolman. Yes.
Okay, before we get into any old or new business, if you are thinking that you'll be providing any testimony today, if you could raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge? We do. Yeah. All right, thank you. See, we have no old business on the agenda, so let's move forward to the first item of new business, which is a variance request for a front yard setback from 60 feet required to 18.5 feet provided for the property located at 4450 King Road, parcel number 78-23997, Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution Section 801A-2. Daryl, if you can provide the staff report, please.
The subject property at 4450 North King Road consists of a residential corner lot located on the northeast corner of King Road and Country Meadows Court. The parcel measures approximately 1/3 of an acre. A 1,500 square foot single family dwelling is sited on the approximate center of the lot. The existing dwelling was constructed in 1954 prior to the enactment of zoning in Sylvania Township in 1956 and originally sat on 9.6 acres. In 1984, the current detached two-car garage was constructed. In 1989, an addition was added to the north side of the dwelling. In 1993, the Country Meadow residential subdivision was created when 9.2 acres were split off to form the new plat. The zoning permit was issued for an addition to the rear of the detached garage in 1994. Also that year, Country Meadows Court was installed as the solitary access drive to the new subdivision. With the placement of this street, the subject property became a legal non-conforming corner lot through no fault of the applicant. The applicants wish to erect a 12-foot by 16-foot shed in their rear yard, 18 feet from the public right-of-way of Country Meadows Court. Section 801A2 of the Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution mandates that, quote, an accessory building or structure shall not be located in the required front setback area in the district in which it is located, unquote. The subject parcel is zoned A3 agriculture and as such has a minimum front setback requirement of 60 feet. Subject request is for a 42-foot variance to this front setback requirement as to allow the placement of the shed 18 feet off the right-of-way. The applicants maintain that when they purchased the parcel in 1986, it had frontage only on King Road, and that as their property is only 75 feet wide, adherence to the 60-foot front setback requirement would leave them only 15 feet of lot width to comply with the zoning requirements. Zoning staff recommends approval of the 42-foot variance request to the front yard setback requirement on an A3 agriculture parcel from 60 feet required to 18 feet provided for the property located at 4450 North King Road for the following 4 reasons. 1, the applicants purchased the subject property as a single frontage lot. The present corner lot situation was created through no action on the part of the applicants, but by the installation of Country Meadows Court. The narrowness of the lot width in conjunction with the required front setback presents minimal footage available to the applicant to use for accessory structures. 3, approval of this variance should not present a negative impact upon the public good or neighboring properties or impair the visibility and/or safety of the traveling public. And 4, approval of this variance should not alter the intent of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution.
Thank you, Darrell. Does anybody have any questions about the staff report?
So just to clarify, Darrell, that's one just north of, what is that, little playground?
Oh, the tower?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a playscape or something. That's not something that we ever would have required a permit for.
but you have that,
Tim, was it 4.4 feet?
yeah,
It's right in front.
yeah, I'm looking at it here online.
Yeah.
With-
Looking for this, do you have the sign for
I think I just passed.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
So it's SHE2, right? That's where.
Yeah. Any other questions? Is there anyone present who would like to speak on this issue? If you can come up and please sign your name and address. And can you state both of those for the written recording as well, please?
No, name is Gary Pansner, and our address is 4450 King Road.
Thank you.
And as it sits right now, our garage is 20 feet off the edge of the road. And where we're going to be putting the shed, we're going to be like 35 feet off the road. And the small square is an 8-foot by 8-foot wooden climbing tower for kids.
Okay. Excellent. Does anybody have any questions for the applicant?
I'm assuming, is it gonna be made out of wood, I'm assuming, or?
Yes, we're actually buying it from a place on Airport Highway at Alvin Road that makes the Amish sheds, they make Sugar Creek, Ohio. So the floor is 2.5 or 2-inch thick tongue and groove pine.
Okay.
And then the walls are 3/4-inch tongue and groove pine.
Any other questions? There, and thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak on this matter? See none. Would anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion for the variance request for the front yard setback from 60 feet required to 8.5 feet provided for the property located at 4450 King Road, parcel number 78-23997, Sylvania Township zoning resolution, section 801-18.
Second that.
All right. Ms. Coleman? Or Coleman? Is that
I'll go
it?
to Bob first.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Mr. Mercer?
Yes.
Mr. Levine?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Schlechter?
Yes.
All right, motion passes. It's approved today, but we'll get something from the township in the next 30 days indicating that we approved this variance request. All right, on to our next item on the agenda, a variance request for a maximum building height from 45 feet required to 58 feet 8.5 inches provided for the property located at 3128 Plainview Drive, parcel number 78-58531, Span Township Zoning Resolution Section 700-A. Darrell, if you can add your staff report, please.
The subject property at 3128 Plainview Drive consists of a 1.8 acre undeveloped commercial lot formed from the combination of 5 former parcels at the northwest corner of Plainview Drive and Central Avenue. The US 23 right-of-way abuts the property to the east. In 2016, the state of Ohio executed a right-of-way take for the reconfiguration of the US 23 Central Avenue interchange. This resulted in the closing of the Plainview Central intersection and the rerouting of Plainview to intersect with Wilford Drive. Furthermore, the reconfiguration of the interchange required an additional take of the subject property where it abuts the southbound exit ramp of US 23 to Central Avenue. These changes resulted in the loss of approximately 0.25 acres or 12.5% of the original property. The applicant maintained that this produced a hardship to constructing the originally planned hotel on the site. In May 2019, the Board of Zoning Appeals unanimously approved variance to the maximum height requirement of 45 feet for the building on the C2 General Commercial Zone parcel. The variance was 17 feet 10 inches to allow the height of the hotel to be 62 feet 10 inches. Section 1608 of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution stipulates that an approved variance shall not be valid for more than 2 years if the use is not commenced or construction started. The variance approved in 2019 has therefore expired due to the proposed hotel project never commencing. The applicant is seeking a new variance from the maximum building height of 45 feet in a C2 as stipulated in section 700 of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution. The new request is for a variance of 13 feet 8.5 inches in order to construct a 5-story hotel 58 feet 8.5 inches tall. Zoning staff recommends approval of the variance from the maximum building height requirement of 45 feet to 58 feet 8.5 inches provided, variance of 13 feet 8.5 inches for the property located at 3128 Plainview Drive for the following 3 reasons. 1, the taking of acreage by the state of Ohio for right-of-way improvements has resulted in a hardship not resulting from any action by the applicant. 2, approval of this variance should not present a substantial detriment to the public good or neighboring properties or impair the visibility safety of the traveling public. And 3, approval of this variance should not substantially alter the intent of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution.
Thank you, Gary. One question I have, so I don't have the notes from 2019. Is this the same exact variance height that was asked for back in 2019, or is there?
No, this is a little bit
That's
shorter.
what I thought.
The one in 19 was for a height of 62 feet 10 inches. This would be for a height of 58 feet 8.5 inches.
Okay, thank you.
Was that variance approved with any conditions?
No.
Any other questions for Darryl? All right, if not, is there anyone in the crowd today who would like to speak on this variance? Come on up. I can have you sign it and state your name and address for the record, please.
Good afternoon, my name is Dan Dr. I work with Dr. and Associates. We are the civil site design engineer for the project. On site. I think that the planning report pretty much summed everything up. I just want to make myself available for any questions that may come up during the discussion.
Does anyone have any questions for Dan?
I do. So are you, is there a project plan now to get this out?
Yes, we've actually submitted the PPR application end of last month in anticipation of this variance hearing. Assuming we're approved here, we're right after that step.
I'm assuming the delay from last time was pretty much delays that many people reached construction trying to find either team members, materials.
I believe that's the case, yes.
Any other questions for that? All right, thank you. Appreciate your time. Does anybody else want to speak on this matter? All right, seeing none, would anybody like to make a motion on this side? I'll close the motion. to approve variance request for maximum building height of 45 feet required, 58 feet 8.5 inches provided for the property located at 3128 Plainview Drive, parcel number 78-58531. Savannah Township zoning resolution section 700-A.
I'll second.
Mr. Schlechter,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Levine,
Yes.
Mr. Mercer,
Yes.
Ms. Coleman.
Yes.
All right, the motion is passed and the variance has been granted. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll get something done shortly, but you're free to progress. All right, moving on to the next item on the agenda. We have a variance request on a south side perimeter landscape strip from 5 feet required to 0 feet provided. The property located at 2926 South Republic Boulevard, parcel number 78-69221, Sylvania Township zoning resolution section 1302-B. Darrell, if you understand, please.
The subject property at 2926 South Republic Boulevard consists of a 0.3 acre lot fronting onto South Republic Boulevard. Until very recently, a 5,000 square foot office building sat on the parcel. In 2013, the subject parcel, along with the parcel abutting it to the north, were purchased by the applicant. All the abutting parcels to the north, east, and south were already owned by the applicant. And in May of 2022, the applicant demolished the existing office buildings on these two lots in preparation for a proposed courier lot. The project went through the project plan review process last month, which initiated the applicant's request for a landscape variance. The applicant intends to redevelop the subject parcel and the two parcels north of it as a courier lot for their vehicles. As part of the PPR process, certain landscape and screening standards are dictated by the Sylvania Township zoning resolution. Section 1302B of the zoning resolution requires a 5-foot side perimeter landscape strip for commercially zoned parcels. The applicant is requesting a variance of 5 feet to eliminate the installation of a landscape strip on the south side of the subject parcel. This parcel and the parcel to the immediate south of 2918 South Republic Boulevard, also owned by the applicant, share a common access drive and paved area. There is no existing landscape barrier or any other physical form of delineation between the two parcels. Further, it is unusual that an access drive straddles the boundary between parcels. Zoning staff recommends approval of the variance from the south side perimeter landscape strip from 5 feet required to 0 feet provided, a variance of 5 feet, for the property located at 2926 South Republic Boulevard for the following 4 reasons. 1, the configuration of the common access drive in relation to the property boundary presents an uncommon situation to the redevelopment of the subject property. 2, the subject parcel and the abutting parcel to the south are owned by the same owner. 3, approval of this variance should not present a substantial detriment to the public good or neighboring properties or impair the visibility or safety of the traveling public. And 4, approval of this variance should not substantially alter the intent of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution.
Thank you, Darrell. Does anybody have questions for Darrell based on this? All right, none. Is there anybody in the audience who would like to speak on this matter? If you can sign in, state your name, address, your address, please.
I've already signed in here, so my name is Yuri Osterhout with Prometica. I'm the Director of our Pre-Construction Services. My address is 2231 Centennial, Sylvania. So I think we really kind of stated what we're looking for here pretty accurately. This is kind of a unique situation. For some reason, I find myself in these projects all the time, but we got a common drive there. We've complied with the landscape buffer on the west, which is 15 feet, the north, which is 5. And then we also added one on the east side, which is 5 feet as well. We're requesting to have it reduced to 0 on the south side because that is right in the center of our existing drive there, as well as the butts are building, and for functionality, it just doesn't really make sense to us. So Available for any questions, if you got any further questions, but it's pretty much what we're asking for.
Does anybody have any questions? No. All right, thank you for your time. Would anyone else like to speak on this matter? No, seeing no one, I'll make the motion this time for a variance request on a south side perimeter landscape strip, 5 feet required, 0 feet provided. The property located at 2926 South Public Boulevard, parcel number 78-69221. Smith Township zoning resolution section 1302-B.
Second.
Ms. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Mercer,
Yes.
Mr. Levine,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Slackton.
Yes. Thank you very much. Your motion passed. You'll be getting something in the mail shortly. Variance approved. All right, moving on to our final agenda item, a variance request for a 6-foot privacy fence within a front setback from 30 feet required, 0 feet provided for the property located at 4312 Gilhouse Road, parcel number 78-15437, Savannah Township zoning resolution sections 1307-B. Dale, if you can please provide staff report.
The subject property at 4312 Gilhouse Road consists of a residential corner lot located on the northwest corner of Gilhouse and Talmadge Road. The parcel measures approximately 2/3 of an acre. The 2,183 square foot single-family dwelling is sited on the approximate center of the lot. The existing dwelling was constructed in 1959. The zoning permit was issued in 1978 for a 6-foot tall privacy fence along the eastern property line fronting Talmadge Road. The subject property was purchased by the applicants in 1996. Section 1307B of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution dictates that solid privacy fencing within a front setback shall be no taller than 3 feet. The subject property is zoned RA low density residential and as such requires a 30-foot front setback. These same height and setback requirements were in place back in 1978 and is the zoning department staff's assertion that the original fence permit should not have been issued without an approved variance. The applicants wish to replace the existing fence with another 6-foot privacy fence of the same design and in the same location. Therefore, they are requesting a variance of 30 feet to erect a new fence 0 feet from the public right-of-way of Talmadge Road. Zoning staff recommends approval of the 30-foot variance request to the front yard setback requirement on an RA low-density residential parcel from 30 feet required to 0 feet provided for the property located at 4312 Gilhouse Road for the following 4 reasons. 1, the existing fence, while erroneously permitted, has been in place for over 40 years with no evidence of nuisance complaints or safety concerns. 2, the new fence would be of the same height and design and in the same location as the existing fence. 3, approval of this variance should not present a negative impact upon the public good or neighboring properties or impair the visitor safety of the traveling public. And lastly, approval of this variance should not alter the intent of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution.
Thank you, Darrell. Does anyone have any questions based on the staff? Okay. Does anyone here want to speak on this matter? Someone else, if you can sign in and then state your name and address for the record, please.
Thank you. My name is Rod Johnson. I have signed in, and I'm the homeowner at 4312 Gilhouse. So the variance report is necessary before I can replace an old dilapidated fence. Same location, same design, nothing really changes except the newness.
Okay. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for the applicant?
Is that a wood 6x8 panel fencing or what's the exact design? I haven't drove by that or anything. Like, what's the current design on that?
The privacy fence would be the 6-foot height with the old style slats facing the outside of the fence.
Okay.
Do you maintain the, looks like there's some
trees planted in the right of way. Do you maintain those or those just for a while?
The trees between the fence and the county road,
Road, yeah.
we make an effort to maintain those and the ditch, which is a real nuisance because I have to mow that and
Right.
damn near fall off my tractor. Cutting.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you for coming in. Would anyone else like to speak on this matter? Okay. In that case, I'd like to entertain a motion for this final variance.
Second that.
Oh, let me read it first. Yeah, true. A variance request for a 6-foot privacy front setback provided for the property located at 4312 Gilhouse Road, parcel number 78-15437, Savannah Township zoning resolution section 1307
Okay, now I'll second it.
All right, Mr. Schlechter,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Levine,
Yes.
Mr. Mercer,
Yes.
Ms. Coleman.
Yes.
All right. The variance has been approved. You'll get something from us shortly, but you're ready to begin. Does anyone have any other matters of new business not on the agenda, right? No? Stephanie, thank you for coming and finally getting your first meeting in.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a journey to get here after one last time, but we finally got it. And we'll be a little less rusty next time in general. Well, with that, I will make the motion to adjourn.
Okay, Ms. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Mercer,
Yes.
Mr. Levine,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Schlechter.
Yes. All right, we're adjourned.
Nice job.